So in the last video, we were talking about what is the Jewish faith system. And in this video, we're going to continue. Actually, my phone just stopped working, so I had to switch phones, and here we go. So now we're going to address the question, what about if I want to convert to Judaism? So the first thing you need to know is that, as I mentioned before, there is room in the world for everyone to practice and to reach closeness with their Creator and a wholesome, fulfilling life. We believe that there is something called the 7 Noahide laws. If you don't know what they are, look them up. I'm not fully familiar with them myself. And the 7 laws are just topic headings for many, many intricate laws. The same way, as you know, in the Torah, there are 613 commandments. So these are the 7, and which underneath have, those are only headings for many, many intricate Jewish laws. So too, the 7 Noahide laws also have many intricacies. And if you are not Jewish but are looking for more meaning, this is a wonderful way to get it, and this is a way to actualize your potential. Most of you will be happy to know that there's a good chance that you are fulfilling many of these laws that have to do with building a society based on good values. And that's what keeps the world going around. So you can look them up, the 7 Noahide laws. All right, not cheating on your wife, not stealing, not killing, stuff like that. Then there are people who just say, I'm doing this, but I want more. And those people fall into 2 categories. One is people who really, they just want more. And I have recently learned from a very reliable source that there is more that they can do. I know that there are some non-Jewish people who practice certain practices or celebrate certain Jewish holidays to a certain extent, and that is okay. That's just fine. Go ahead and enjoy. However, there is a whole bunch of people, and you may be one of these people, who somehow feels in their heart that they want to be Jewish. There's this yearning, there's this call. It usually starts quite early on in life, and it's a very deep yearning and longing and connection and a feeling of displacement in their world. And these people, we believe that they are indeed Jewish souls who also stood there at Sinai, and for some reason, as you know, Judaism believes in reincarnation, that we have all been here before and that we keep coming back to fix our mistakes. For some reason, they needed to be born into whatever situation they were born into, but that in fact, they're a Jewish soul waiting to come home. So for these people, conversion is the way to go. Now, something that's important for you to know is that Jews do not missionize. If there is someone who is trying to convert you to Judaism, you need to question their Judaism. That's not the Jewish way. It just isn't, you know. It's something that the whole belonging is by virtue of wanting it, by virtue of saying, I want to be so much a part of this people, by hook or by crook. If it's hard, if it's easy, if they're persecuted, if they're in good times, if they're in bad times, if there's anti-Semitism, no matter what, this is the truth that I subscribe to, and I will do anything to be a part of it. That person gains belonging by virtue of the fact that they want it so badly. So there is no such thing as telling someone that they should convert. As a matter of fact, when someone comes forward and they say, you know, I really want to convert, then our answer is, you know what, sweetheart, it's tough work being a Jew. Like, you could probably serve God in your own way better. And you know, and we say that to them a couple of times, and if they are really sincere, then we say, okay, you know what, go for it, start learning. So if you're one of these people that just feels this yearning, and we have quite a few friends who are converts, and their life stories are unbelievable. You know, the things that they knew without knowing just because they had that Jewish connection is very, very interesting. Then, if you are one of those people, then the thing to do is to start learning. Are converts accepted in Jewish society? Just on a superficial level, the answer is yes, 100%. As a matter of fact, if someone converts, you're not even supposed to talk about the fact that they converted, because that would be like finding a long-lost biological brother, and every time you mention him saying, well, he's my brother, but for 20 years I didn't know him, but he's still kind of like my brother. That's not okay. Once you're in the family, you're in the family, and that's all. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you can have micro situations where there's some prejudice, but generally speaking, not only are converts welcomed once they've kind of crossed the line, but even in our prayers, we ask to be aligned with the converts because they're so righteous. There's such a totally incredible people that have basically took a critical eye, like Abraham, looked around at their life and said, you know what, I believe that there's a higher truth for me. So these are pretty incredible people. What to do if you're one of those guys is to start learning. You need to get yourself a Torah study partner, which you can get through Partners in Torah. Partners in Torah generally only caters to Jewish people, but if you are quite sincere in your search, I'm sure that they can find you someone, and if not, get your local Orthodox rabbi, and he'll set you up with someone. Learning from books is a very good start, but it's nothing, absolutely nothing compared to speaking with an actual person who is practicing Judaism. After you've learned a decent amount, most of the time a rabbi will ask you to move into a Jewish community. God forbid, it's not like a cultish kind of, little micro-isolated community. It's just that in a Jewish community, you see things that you otherwise wouldn't see. You pick up on nuances you cannot get from a book. You can't get from living, somewhere out in Idaho on a field. It's not going to be. You have Shabbos. You have people walking around. You see what a Shabbos table is like for real. You see what children's education is like. You see how values are spoken in the home with every interaction, and blessings before food. Before even a 3-year-old takes a bite, they're going to say a blessing in gratitude for the food that they eat. You just are able to observe things and integrate. During that integration time, you'll also be welcomed in the community, like assuming that you're there to learn. People are very happy to have you, to support you in your process, even though it's quite long and arduous. One of the I want to call it a problem, but it's just an irony, because this is such an organic process. There's not a lot of rules. It's not like if you go to a 3-year study course, you will suddenly become Jewish. No, we're talking about a soul change. So sometimes people don't know when someone will say to them, okay, now you're ready to convert. Now, no one's going to mess around with the person, but it's definitely difficult, that kind of learning waiting time. Sometimes if a person is young, then the rabbi might suggest to them that they go to Israel and learn over there in a more intensive way. And that really kind of like takes you up a notch and really prepares you for Jewish life. So it's very exciting and very worthwhile. And besides, Israel's awesome. If you've never been there, go visit. Your life will be changed forever. So I hope that answered those questions. What else did I need to tell you? Yes. Something that's important to know is that there is a mistake that's made, that there's different types of conversions. I don't want to put any labels, but we're talking about a soul change. So for example, imagine you wanted to become a doctor and you were really, really good at medicine, right? So if you went to school and got your psychology degree, plus your father was a doctor, plus you studied up on anatomy at the side, plus you one time saved a person with CPR, and you're an EMT, and you have this tons of experience and knowledge and excitement about medicine, you are still not a doctor until you go through medical school and you go through your residency and you get all your degrees and you have that MD after your name. In everything in life, there is a process and there's a way of doing things. So there are some people who want to kind of sidestep the authentic process to make it easier for people, to make it like a softer entry. This is a big mistake, because it's confusing generations, and we're talking about something that's very, very serious over here. When a person goes into the mikveh and comes out, they're coming out a brand new person, and their children are forever, everything's different. Their entire destiny is different. You can't mess around with this. So the way to become Jewish is actually to go with the prescribed way, which means you need to take on the mitzvahs. What it means to be a Jew is that we are the children of Abraham, of Avraham, who said, I follow you, God, wherever you take me. God said, go. Abraham went. And where God took us was to Har Sinai, which is Mount Sinai, and Har Sinai. And he said, here's the Torah. Here's what I want you to do, my dear children. Go ahead and be the light. If you're not signed up to be the light, to do all those things, then you haven't signed up for Judaism. You've signed up for a feel-good class that you're going to get to enjoy Shabbos at the temple. That's not. I'm not putting any labels on anything. I'm just letting the good people who really are sincere and seeking know that there is a prescribed way, and that includes taking on the mitzvahs. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. I think I just want to finish by saying that if you are in the know, then you know that I've touched upon a couple of tricky, controversial points. That's okay by me. I'm not trying to be controversial, just saying the truth. And I love you all, wherever you stand, however you hold, whatever your beliefs are. And that it's really, really inspiring for me to see that on both counts, that some Jewish people are doing such a beautiful job of living as Jews that they're inspiring others to want to come closer. And it's also really inspiring for me to see the beautiful souls that are out there in the world that are seeking more truth and happiness. So shalom to all of you, and take care.